Why are we so emotional about this? Why does this mean so much? You know, and maybe it's because it's history repeating itself in the fact that this was Tiger's Jack Nicklaus moment. This was his 86 Masters moment, although Jack was 3 years older when he won in his third different decade, as Tiger joining Jack as the only players in the history of the Masters to win in 3 different decades. He won in the 90s, won in the aughts, and then yesterday he snuck one in. Then last year of this decade, 2019, that he was a 43-year-old, Jack was a 46-year-old, 2 40-year-old guys, 2 all-time greats, 2 guys who are 1-2 on the all-time majors leaderboard. And the fact that one generation for Jack had that moment, now our generation have this moment. And then there was the generational moment for Tiger, where in 1997, he strolled off and hugged his dad, Earl. And yesterday, in 2019, he strolls off the green and he hugs his son. And there's a little Tiger, if you will. And he's a dad now. And he was a son then. Now he's a dad. And they're both wearing red, just like Tiger was wearing red when he hugged Earl back in 1997. And that's when I started feeling it, because my 5-year-old daughter, and I've been telling my 8-year-old son and my 10-year-old son for years about Tiger Woods, years. And as they grew up, they really, you know, were like, either Tiger wasn't in the tournament, and there I was, that person saying, let me tell you, let me tell you about this kid, Tiger. And I would tell them about how terrific he was and how dominant he was and how, in terms of any sport, the greatest, about how transformational he was. And I would try and explain to them, too, about how Tiger doesn't look like the rest of the golfers and players who were winning championships for decades before him or after, and how he changed the way that people are interested in golf. He changed the way that people are paid in golf. I mean, I'm trying to tell them. And he also changed the way that people play golf, that courses were made longer because of him. And in terms of the way he changed the way that people are paid to play golf, yesterday, Tiger Woods' winning check to win the Masters was $2.1 million. Whew. When he won the Masters, and it was his first major victory as well, in 1997, the entire prize pool check, the entire prize pool for the entire field was $2.7 million. So his prize check yesterday was $600,000 less than the entire purse available for the 1997 field to split up. And so I'm trying to, and so to see in real time his greatness in 2019 and to see him do it with my kids now able to see it really got me emotional. It really broke me up. And then I thought to myself, all right, let me psychoanalyze this a little deeper, because Susie walks in the room. She's like, why do we care so much? Like, why does this mean so much to us right now?
Yeah, it's really hard to explain.
You got emotional.
I'm emotional just thinking about it right now.
And then maybe it's just the fact that no matter what comes our way as people in the world, that anybody listening to me right now or watching this show right now all have trials and tribulations in our personal and maybe professional lives as well, that no matter how difficult it can be, that when it all comes down to it, whatever beats inside your chest, whatever is inside your temples, whatever you have as a person, as a competitor, as somebody who loves doing what they do or loves their family in a way, that no matter what obstacles are placed in front of you, you can do it. You can do it. Now, maybe you sit there and say, I don't have the same God-given abilities as Tiger Woods. So what? Maybe that's what it is. And maybe it is that he's a flawed man. And the number of times that I tweeted about Tiger yesterday and how excited I was for his win, maybe, there are enough haters out there. I got a lot of people back saying, well, you telling your kids that he did drugs? You telling your kids that he got pulled over? You telling his kids what happened with his wife? And I'm like, yeah, I did. He and his wife had problems. He had some problems with trying to, obviously I put it in as many kids' terms as possible.
Sure.
Trying to get better. He got sick. He got hurt. That, yeah, he's a flawed man. And this is a guy who just a couple of years ago, according to reports, couldn't even sit up straight in a car. Couldn't even sit up straight in a car. And we don't know how deep whatever Tiger's afflictions were in taking medication. The fact that he slipped on a green jacket yesterday could mean so much to so many millions of people if we do ever find out that side of the story. And yeah, I know what happened with him in his personal life. But he's out there winning a green jacket in 2019 as a 43-year-old man with a bad back, and he didn't just do it as simply a 43-year-old guy with a bad back. He did it in a manner that nobody else has really ever had to do it. When was the last time they moved up a tee time to 9 in the morning for the entire field was the latest tee time? When was the last time that they put 3 guys in a grouping?
I don't know if that's ever happened.
When was the last time they did that? So for all of us out there in the world that was doubting Tiger Woods, and I was one of them, we were all doubting them, although I don't believe I ever came on this set. You can tell me, you can fact check me, and folks out there, if you have a receipt to send me, fine, I'll own it. But I don't remember ever saying he would never do it again. I don't think he's ever going to win again. I don't think he can ever win again. It was really dark before this dawn yesterday. But he was the 43, out of anyone in that field, other than, say, Bernard Langer or any of the other seniors that are out there, for you to win the Masters in 2019, if you made the cut, and you didn't know this when you were teeing off on Saturday, to win the Masters, you most likely had to play 36 holes in a little over 24 hours. Tiger Woods stepped to the tee on Saturday at 2 o'clock, essentially. I think it was like 2:03, 2:05. He plays 18 holes, shoots 67, then has to turn around and tee off at 9:20 the next morning.
Yeah, he said he got up at 4:30.
Well, yeah, Amanda Bally, Onis, who we met back in the day with her Callaway connection, as this show has, asked him a question like, what's your plan going to be? And he's like, I'm going to wake up at 3:45 in the morning. He has to do his back exercises or whatever he wants to call it. He's got to get out there. So he then had to turn around. He stepped off the course around 2:30 in the afternoon. About 24 hours and 20 some odd minutes after he teed off for his first hole of the 3rd round. And if we ever told you Tiger's going to win another Masters, you'd be like, come on, really? Yes. And not only that, he's going to have to play his final 36 holes, by the way, with the tightest grouping atop the leaderboard. I think it was only the second tightest grouping atop the leaderboard in the history of the Masters going into the 3rd round. Not only would he have to negotiate all of that, but he will have to do it with his surgically repaired back by playing his 36 final holes in a little bit over 24 hours. With having to get a sleep in and dinner and breakfast and all of that.
And the rain and the wind.
Right. That's how he won his 2019 Masters. It is truly unbelievable.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.